Welcome back to Bricks by B. Today is a pretty exciting day because we're finally starting one of the most iconic Lego sets ever made, the Ghostbusters Firehouse Headquarters. Ever since I first started planning this city, this has been one of those sets that I knew had to be part of it. It has so much character, so much history, and honestly it's one of those buildings that almost every Lego fan recognizes instantly. Today's video is part one of the build, and by the end we'll have the entire first floor completed. So let's get into it. Like every big Lego project, the first step is getting organized. It isn't the most exciting part of the build, but I've learned over the years that spending a few extra minutes sorting pieces usually saves a lot more time later. It's also kind of the calm before the storm. Right now, all I see are hundreds of random Lego pieces scattered across the table. In no time, those same pieces will become one of the most recognizable movie buildings ever recreated in Lego. That's one of my favorite things about this hobby. No matter how many sets you built, that transformation never gets old. We're starting exactly where every building starts, the foundation. It might not look like much yet, but every modular is only as good as the structure underneath it. You'll notice I'm using a typical Mills plate extended to fit the entire firehouse. There are layers of plates locking everything together from multiple directions. And by the time you're finished, these buildings feel surprisingly heavy. I always appreciate seeing the engineering behind these sets, because somebody had to think through every single connection before any of us ever opened the box. One thing I get asked a lot is how I decide which building to add next. The answer is actually pretty simple. I don't necessarily buy the biggest set or even the newest release. I try to choose buildings that make the city feel alive. A great Lego city isn't just skyscrapers. It's restaurants, apartment buildings, fire stations, hospitals, coffee shops, places that make it feel like people actually live there. The Firehouse checks every one of those boxes while also bringing a huge dose of nostalgia. Now we're finally getting to the fun part. The walls are starting to go up, and this is usually where the build starts rewarding you for all that foundation work. Every few minutes, it becomes easier to recognize what you're building. It's funny how quickly your brain switches from seeing individual Lego bricks to seeing an actual building. 1 minute you're attaching random plates. The next minute you're looking at a firehouse. One thing that really stands out to me with this set is the architecture. The combination of dark red brick, tan trim, light gray accents, and those oversized garage doors gives the building so much personality. It feels like an actual city building instead of just another Lego model. I think that's one of the reasons this set has become so popular over the years. It's detailed enough to stand on its own, but it also blends perfectly into a modular street. That's not easy to accomplish. Even if you've never owned this set before, there's a pretty good chance you've seen the movies. Or maybe you watched the cartoons. Maybe you grew up playing with the toys. Ghostbusters is one of those franchises that's been around for generations, and that's part of what makes this build so much fun. It's more than just another modular. It's instantly recognizable. You don't need a sign telling you what building this is. The second those garage doors start coming together, you already know. One thing that continues to impress me throughout this build is just how clever some of these techniques are. Lego designers have this incredible ability to hide complicated engineering behind really simple-looking walls. Sometimes you're placing a single brick and wondering why it's there. 5 minutes later, that same brick suddenly supports an entire section of the building. Those little aha moments never get old. As I'm building this, I'm already imagining where it's going to end up in the city. I haven't completely decided yet, but I know I want it somewhere people are going to notice. The nice thing about this building is that it doesn't have to be the tallest structure to stand out. Its architecture does all the work. Eventually, I'd love to add some custom street details around it. Maybe some landscaping, some parked cars, minifigures walking by, and of course, the Ecto, one parked right out front. I think that's really going to bring the whole scene to life. One of the reasons modular buildings have become my favorite LEGO theme is because everyone feels completely different. The building experience changes, the architecture changes, the techniques change, even the personalities of the buildings change. Some are elegant, some are modern, some are quirky. The Firehouse somehow manages to feel realistic while still having a ton of personality. That's a difficult balance to strike. One thing I wanted to say while we're building, thank you. Seriously, when I started this channel, I honestly wasn't sure if anyone would be interested in watching another person build a Lego city. Seeing the community that's been growing around these videos has been incredible. This city has become just as much your journey as it is mine. And just like that, the first floor is finished. Seeing it sitting here completed really gets me excited for the rest of the build. Even without the upper floors installed, you can already tell this is going to become one of the signature buildings in the city. The front facade looks fantastic. The proportions are perfect. And honestly, I don't think pictures ever did this set justice. It looks so much better in person. We're still only getting started though. I decided to tile the interior floor to give a more finished look. In part 2, we'll continue building upward, add even more of the incredible interior details, and watch the Firehouse really start taking shape. If you're excited to see that, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. If you enjoyed today's build, I'd really appreciate a like, and let me know down in the comments, what's one retired LEGO set you'd love to see added to the city someday? Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in part 2. And remember, we're building my dream LEGO city, one brick at a time.